Hi, this is history lesson on Amelia Earhart. Last time that we were together, we went over Dwight Eisenhower. I'm going to review the questions from the comprehension check. I'm going to go over some details about Amelia Earhart. But before we begin, I'm going to review the maps. So, first map, Western region. Make sure that you're studying your states. And we have California, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Nevada, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. Please study your states. Now, this next map is a map about the territories of the United States. Throughout the world, the United States has territory that are under their government or under their control. And with each one of these territories, they have a unique set of rules and guidelines. Not all of them are the same. Each territory has their own laws, as you may say. Some of them, like the case of Puerto Rico, we have our own constitution, but over the constitution is the federal law. So even though statewide we have our own laws, we are also governed by the federal law of the United States. Puerto Rico is one of those countries that is territory or belongs to the United States. Another one is the Virgin Islands. Then you have American Samoa, you have Guam, and you have the Northern Mariana Islands. Okay, so those are 5 territories that belong to the United States. Now moving right along with Dwight Eisenhower. So in our comprehension check, I hope you guys did them, so I'm going to read the questions and give you the answers. So the first one, it says, what words were added to the Pledge of Allegiance while Dwight Eisenhower was president? One nation under God. So that was added. Number 2, what words that the President Eisenhower signed into law became our national motto? And that would be, in God we trust. Number 3, which famous military academy did Dwight Eisenhower attend for his college education? And that would be West Point Academy. What program to study space began while Eisenhower was serving as president? And that would be NASA. And the initial stands for the National Aeronautic and Space Administration. How many years did Dwight Eisenhower serve as president of the United States? He served 2 terms. So that means that he served 8 years. What states were added while Eisenhower was president? There was 2 states added. One was Hawaii, and the other state was Hawaii and Alaska. I almost forgot that one. Hawaii and Alaska were added. And even though it was not mentioned in our book, our I-95 also is one of his accomplishments. The story about I-95 is that during World War I, he was a trainer for tanks for the military, and they needed to do a trip from one state to the other. This was in Tennessee, and I believe they needed to go to New York. And it was very difficult because at that time, only the towns had roads. When you left your town, there was no roads anymore. It was like walking through the woods. And that impressed him so much that when he became president, that was one of the things that he fought for. So I-95, thank Ike Eisenhower. So moving on with Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart, as a child, was liked going fast and was very adventurous. She always liked adventures, and she was always determined. And being determined helped her later on in her life. Once she went on a roller coaster and felt the thrill of going really fast, and she said, that I like going really fast. So one day, as time went by, she tried doing different things. She tried working as a nurse. She decided, she helped during World War II nurses. She wasn't a nurse, but she helped nurses taking care of soldiers, of wounded soldiers. So she made the decision, well, maybe I'll go into medicine. But it so happened that she didn't have enough money, so she had to drop out of college. Um, and ongoing, she started looking for other things to do. But one day, her dad took her to an air show, and she fell in love with airplanes. And from that moment on, flying was her first and only true love. There, she would do odd end jobs in order to pay for her flying lessons. She obtained her flying lessons, and as she started flying, she started breaking records. One of the records that she broke was that she was the first woman to fly the highest. She was also the first woman to fly by herself across the Atlantic Ocean. She also was the first woman to fly over 180 miles per hour, which in today's time is nothing, but in those times that was a lot. She is also well known, and she is one of the most known women pilots in the world. And although her life ended tragically and her last flight, um, it, she crashed, it disappeared, they never found the crash or the body or anything. It's a mystery what happened to her. It's an ongoing mystery, and to today there are people trying to find out what happened to Amelia Earhart. So there are groups of people still trying to investigate the crash, investigate the flight plans, what the weather was like, to see if they can find an indicator of where the crash might be. Um, and even though her life ended so tragically, she is still a role model for many women all over the world that pursue the career of piloting. So thank you very much, and this concludes our lesson for history for today. Thank you. Goodbye.